Hey guys, so I had to be out today, so I'm doing my review virtually. I asked you guys watch this video and pause as needed. That's why I don't want the whole class watching it all together. It's just that you guys all kind of work at your own pace on this way, and you can pause as needed and write notes as necessary. So our test is actually going to be on Thursday, so I'm going to have time to review with you guys in class when I'm back in person tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So our test is on Thursday, which is the 22nd. So your homework that was due today, just bring that tomorrow. I'll check it tomorrow in person. Unless you're virtual, then just upload it as you normally would. So we'll go through these notes. You should have hopefully done the notes quiz already, and then we'll do these review notes. We'll do almost all of them. We'll skip the last couple examples, and I'll do those with you guys in person as well. So we're solving by graphing. Now I want to point out these graphs. Now that we've done inequalities, you're probably used to shading. We don't need to shade on these because they have equal signs and not inequalities. So notice the difference between those two. So this is just normal lines. We're going to graph where they cross, and that's where the solution is going to be. So there's no shading needed. So we want both equations in y equals mx plus b if we're able to. And then just to remind you guys, a vertical versus horizontal line. So this is going to be a vertical line, straight up and down. Whereas if I have just a y equals, then that's just a flat line. So this is going to be a vertical line in this case. So where my x is x is 4. So then I'm just going to draw a straight up and down line at 4 if I can hit that spot. So there's my vertical line at 4. Then I want to get this 1, so I'm going to start at -1 on the y-axis. I'm going to go up 2 and over 1. Cross already. So they cross at a particular point. And that's our solution then at this spot. And so again, that's where the b began, and our slope is 2. The next problem we're going to solve by substitution. We're going to solve that by substitution. Remember, that's where we want to get one variable alone. Thank you. So this one, the x is already alone, so I'm going to substitute that into the other equation in place of x. So I have to use my parentheses in this case, and I'm going to substitute that in. So we're going to distribute here. And then we have to solve our new equation. So we'll combine like terms. So this will be 2y. We'll move that 45 over. So I'll get 2y equals -38, I believe. So then I go to solve that. So y ends up being -19. Once I know y, then I want to substitute that back in to find our x value. And I like using that first equation that I used to substitute because it's already solved for x. So y is -19, and then plus 9. So this is a -10. So that's solving by substitution. I found x and y. The next one we learned was elimination. We're going to do two types of elimination. We're going to use like the easier method and then the more difficult one. So there's two examples there for elimination. Now on the test, if I ask you to use a particular method, you must use that method. So you can't say, well, I really like substitution better, that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to ask you to use, if I ask you to do that method, that's the method you use. So remember, with elimination, we want to add the equations together and cause something to cancel. But you may need to multiply if necessary because we want there to be opposite x's or opposite y's. So we want one or the other to happen. So in this first case, if you look, we have a 1x minus 1x. So the x's actually would cancel if I added these equations together. So this one's nice and set up. It's all nice and lined up for us. So we have 2y and 1y is 3y. Negative 4 and negative 5 is going to be a negative 9. So this has got down to a one-step equation very quickly. So we find out y is negative 3. Once I have that value, I have to substitute it back in to find my x. I'm actually going to put it in the top equation. So 2 times negative 3 plus x equals negative 4. And then move the 6 over. So x ends up being 2. So we found our x and y using elimination. Now this one's not as easy because nothing will cancel if I just add them the way they are. So I look for what would be easier in this case. So the 5 and 4 can both become 20. That would work, but it's probably not the easiest way. So I'm going to use the 3x, and then I'm going to make this bottom one a negative 3x. So basically what I want to have happen here is have negative, or 3x and a negative 3x, because then they'll cancel. So in order to get that to happen, I have to multiply this bottom whole row by negative 3. But I have to do that to the whole bottom row. Now, again, with showing your work with this, show me some work. I don't need absolutely every step. Like, I rewrite these just so I like them all nice and lined up. But if you don't need to do that, that's okay. I just want to see this as the method you used and you didn't like choose to use substitution or something. But notice I have to distribute to all the terms. And then to get my y alone, I'm going to divide by negative 17. And I find out y is 1. Once I know y is 1, again, I have to substitute that back in to find my x. I'm going to put it right back in here. And I move that 4 over and find out x is going to be 6. So I found my x and y by elimination. And then our last problem we're going to do today is if you flip your page over, we're going to do graphing systems. So this is 2 equations. Now this is inequalities. So this is when we do worry about the shading, we worry about the solid versus dotted lines. So this is a little bit more work. So inequalities. So we have the dotted line, and then also the solid line. We have to remember to shade using a test point, so shade the side that works. Remember, we're going to flip the inequality if applicable. That's when we multiply or divide by a negative. So if you don't have to do that, don't worry about that. So we're ready to graph this. Now this again is like the first question. This is going to be a vertical line at negative 5. And it's a solid line. So there's my first line, and if I test 0, 0, so remember this is where you have to do those test points. If I test that, I check 0, 0, 0 greater than or equal to -5. That's true, so that means that works, so yes. So we're going to shade the side of the line that has 0, 0 on it. So that means I'm going to shade over here. Color over here, this whole section, all the way up to that blue line. I shouldn't have crossed it there, can't color between the lines. Looks like I failed kindergarten. But so yeah, so I'm staying on this side of the line. Then I have to graph my other line as well. Switch pens here. So this one, I want to get the y alone. So I'm going to divide by 2. It's kind of flipped around, so if that bugs you. It's 5 over 2x is greater than y. But there's no b, so that means b is 0. So I'm going to begin at 0, so that already tells me I can't use 0 as my checkpoint. And then I'm going to go up 5 and over 2 as my slope. Up 5 and over 2. Oops. Switch this back. Up 5 and over 2. Up 5 and over 2. You can also go down 5 and back 2. Time it's going to be a dotted line because it doesn't have that equal to line. So we're going to switch that back over. So dotted line. But then I have to test a point. Now I like testing points that are the same number for both x and y. So like 1, 1, 5, 5, you know, something like that. So let's actually try that. Let's do 5, 5. Well, actually, no. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. 5, 5. So this is 5, 5 here that I'm going to test. So you can pick anything on one side of the line or the other. But I'm going to put it back into this one because otherwise I'm working fractions. So I'm going to do 5 times 5. Is that greater than 2 times 5? Because I chose both 5 and 5 as my test point. So I'm testing 5, 5. So 25 is greater than 10. This is a yes. So that means that this side of the line works. So this is kind of a strange one. It kind of is a weird shading situation here. I'm going to shade over here. So the overlapping section is kind of like this one's whole section anyhow. So this green section is the solution. So anything over here works. So we're doing good that we can have that working. All right, so I'm going to wait on the bottom part of the notes. So that's going to be, we'll work on the bottom part of the notes together when we're back together again on Wednesday. But you guys do have a homework assignment. So you should be doing these for Wednesday. Now, most of you guys can just, you know, you'll need some graph paper, sorry, get this out. But you need some graph paper. I have some graph paper for you guys. And then this is due Wednesday. Bring it to class. Those of you guys online, upload it like usual. And again, our test is on Thursday, but we'll finish the rest of these notes on Wednesday, sorry. So like this bottom half of the notes, we'll do this. So wait on this. We'll do this on Wednesday together. So bring questions you guys are struggling with before we take our test on Thursday, but I will see you guys again on Wednesday. Hope this all goes well. Take care.